YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to Content Talks. My name's Austin Savage, founder of Austin Savage & Co., and I am glad that you're here. Hey, today we are talking all about Clubhouse. And I know that this is a different, video angle than I typically do because normally I record on my phone, but today I'm going to be showing you the platform. I'll put it up right next to me for the video, and I want to show you Clubhouse, kind of talk about what it is. Also talk about why I'm not that impressed with it, but everybody's talking about it. So I wanted to come on here and share my own thoughts and just share a little bit about the platform and opportunities I see, weaknesses I see, all of that stuff. So if you don't know, Clubhouse, and you can see here, it's basically, at its basic form, it is a platform that consists of a bunch of rooms where people can lead discussions or chat with each other about a variety of topics. So it is a voice-based platform with a bunch of chat rooms, basically. So as you can see kind of on my homepage, I mean, there's just a bunch of different rooms from based on interests that I followed. You can see a lot of it is like visual artists and creatives. There's stuff about entrepreneurship, and apparently I'm interested in Bitcoin and marketing versus sales and all sorts of different things. Mastermind hacks in 2021. I mean, there's all sorts of cool stuff. I've listened to discussions about aliens, about marketing, about mindset. I know that I've listened to some about my faith, all of that stuff. So right now it's invite-based only. So you can see I have 5 invites, a bunch of people that I could invite. See, there's upcoming for me. So you can see some events, some conversations that are planned, that are coming up, again, based on what I put as my interest when I signed up for the app. So there's all sorts of things for female entrepreneurs. I guess that applies to me in some way. I don't know. Okay, so anyways, and then you can plan your own events, schedule those, and see, you can start a room here at the bottom. All sorts of cool things, and then you can see if there's any of your friends who are available to chat, and you can literally just hop in a room with them, make it private, and you can literally just chat, or you can just hop in a room, call it something, and start talking about it. I'll show you inside one of these rooms real fast. So for example, all right, let me turn down the volume here. Okay, so what you can see is they're talking about visual artists and creatives talk and more. So up at the top is all the people who are participating in the discussion. So people who are talking, who are adding, their voices can be heard. At the bottom is people who are listening, who are followed by the speakers, and then other people who are just in the room. So right now, I'm just listening in on the discussion. I'm just in the room, and you can see that there's tons of people listening. So you can listen. The people who are just listening can raise their hands, and they can be added into the speakers, or sent back down to just be listening. All of those things can be happening all at the same time. So here's my thoughts. I think it is a really interesting platform, but I don't see a way where Clubhouse becomes a standard form of media consumption in our culture. I don't think it has the same viability that TikTok had, say, a year ago, to become a mainstream part of our culture. Nevertheless, I have pros and cons. Number one, for pros, community building. This is an event-based platform, and so everybody is consuming the content at the same time, and it's very interactive, it's very community-based, and so this is a great platform that could be used for community building around a brand. It is all about interaction. It's about hearing people's voices, actually having people add their voices to a discussion, to a thought. And that's a powerful way to form community. I mean, that's what this platform has going for it, is the ability to hear people's voices, have the ability to share your own thoughts and perspectives. And it's very, it's in the moment. You're consuming something together. Number two is organic reach. I mean, right now, since Clubhouse is new, it's not even open fully to the public yet. If you're opening up a room about a specific topic that other people are interested in, there's a good chance that they will see it and come and listen to the conversation. And so there's already people on Clubhouse who have built very large followings and are doing very well, I'm sure, at engaging a community and leveraging the organic reach that exists on that platform, because there's not a crazy amount of content on there, even though there is a lot. But if you're making content about a specific genre or a specific niche, there's a good chance people will see it. And then the third pro is the voice emphasis. I mean, we know that podcasts have already been growing like crazy, and really Clubhouse operates a lot like a live podcast that you can listen in on and participate in, is kind of what it comes across as. And so the coolest thing to me is, one, just the emphasis on voice. I mean, from a human perspective, and even just a like marketing perspective, I mean, it's a very empowering platform about the value of voice at its core. And I think that it's meaningful. I think that is a meaningful part of the app. And the cool thing also is, just from a functional perspective, is when you close the app, if you're listening in on a discussion, that discussion will still continue. So it could work out where if you are working or doing something, like, you don't have to have the app open and just stare at it the entire time. Like, you could start a discussion, close it, and go, clean the house or keep working on something for work or whatever. And it operates in that way very much like listening to a podcast would operate. But I also have cons. Things that I don't really like about the app, and honestly, things that just like, I haven't used it that much. I've downloaded it. I've had to intentionally go and use it so that I could make this video so that I understood it. And it hasn't been something that I've just like wanted to go hang out on or wanted to spend time on. And I've had it for 2 to 3 weeks now. I can't remember the exact time. My first negative thought about this is that the content does not live on after the discussion. Now, I could be wrong, so please tell me if I am, but I don't believe that there's any way on Clubhouse, like, once the discussion is done, it's done. There's no place to go back and revisit a discussion. There's no place to share a discussion once it's done. Like, it doesn't have as much of that evergreen quality that, say, a podcast would have, or any content that you're sharing on any other platform for the most part. Like, it's very event based. I view that as a negative quality, because when you're creating content, I mean, you want to get the most out of that content as you possibly can. And if I'm taking an hour to host a discussion, I mean, I want that discussion I want to be able to repurpose that discussion and share it other places, and to be able to direct people back to that conversation. I'm sure there are other ways that you could get around that. You could record your screen during the entire discussion to get the audio from it. And there's ways that you could repurpose that content, but it's just different. And different isn't always bad, but I view that as a negative aspect of the app currently. Number 2, for me, a con is the event-based consumption. So it's time and place. Like, hey, we're talking about this tonight at 7 p.m. Come and hang out. It's like what people have been doing with Zoom hangouts through COVID. I mean, it's like, hey, let's get together. Let's talk about this. You can either listen in or you can participate, and it's very time and place. To me, that doesn't interest me at all. There are very few topics that I would want to participate in a format like that, where I have to be at a place at a certain time to consume a piece of content. Like, that is a model that is moving away, and in order for it to be a meaningful model, like, there has to be a really compelling reason. So for that to be the backbone of this app, I don't see that as a good thing. I mean, I see that as a risk. You're going to have some great conversations, and I think that there's going to be a lot of meaningful interaction on the app. But for me, even as a consumer, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to have to listen in at something at 7 o'clock. I'd rather listen to it the next day while I'm driving at 8:30. And so that's how my life works, and I'm sure that's how a lot of people's lives works, and I think that's going to limit the app in the future. Number 3, this is a dumb thing, but the notifications have annoyed the heck out of me for the last 2 weeks that I've had this app. And maybe it's because I'm not following the right people. So again, if you're like a person who loves Clubhouse and are watching this and I've already driven you crazy, I'm sorry. But they have sent me so many notifications about every single room that opens up in a genre that I have chosen or somebody that I've followed. And it is annoying. Like, literally, I'm getting Clubhouse notifications every single hour. And so I finally turned them off today, and I feel free. So here we go. So then the fourth thing is just, I really can't see a way where Clubhouse becomes a standalone means of primary media consumption, like where this is a backbone part of how we communicate as a culture. And I know it would take a long time for it to get there anyways, but I just don't see this as one of the primary apps that people are using. I see it as a cool one, and I think that there's some cool things that you could do on the app, but I don't view it as a primary means of social media, of community building, of engagement. Like we've already seen, so with something like Twitter Spaces, they're developing now, it won't be super hard for other larger apps to make the Clubhouse model a feature of their whole ecosystem, which again, I view as a risk for the app, because if that does happen at the right time, and again, the timing could go in either direction, but if it happens in the right time, then people's attention will more likely be to spend more time on a platform they're already familiar with than to build out and get engaged on a whole new platform. But at the same time, Clubhouse could hit it just at the right timing in the other direction, and they do get a lot of the traffic that would have stayed on those platforms they're familiar with. So here's the deal. I mean, I think Clubhouse is interesting. I think it's really cool, and I think that there is some potential for it to take off. But I know for myself as a consumer, I have not been super impressed by it or felt like compelled by the structure of the app or the way that it operates. So for me, I don't have a huge desire to leverage it, but I do think it's worth checking out and thinking if it is valuable. Because like I've said like a million times on this channel already, great content adds value, it builds trust, and it builds community. There's definitely some potential on Clubhouse for trust and community. Hey, I hope you found this video helpful. And if you have really liked Clubhouse, I'm sorry, and I hope I didn't frustrate you. And if I'm wrong about anything, please let me know. I'd love to know that in the comments. But if you did like this video, help me out by hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, and ringing the little bell so that you never miss a future video that I put out. I try to put out 2 videos every single week to help you on your content marketing journey. So I will see you back next time.